Welcome to episode one of the Executive Dad Podcast. Welcome to the Executive Dad Podcast. I am your host, and the mission of the Executive Dad and the Executive Dad Podcast is to challenge dads to be leaders both in their career, in their workplace, and at home. We all have felt the push and pull of obligations to be providers as well as to be present. And that is what the executive dad is focused on. Positive behavior change to create a positive impact on business, on our career, but also on our family. So, in today's episode, I'm going to do a quick intro to me, who am I, as well as run through our three principles format that we'll be using moving forward for the show. So, myself, I am a veteran. I served in the Marine Corps for 8 years as an infantry officer, where I had the great fortune to serve alongside some of the most amazing men and women that I have ever come across, and truly what has shaped my future and my thoughts on leadership and leading by example, which we'll get to later. I'm also a founder and a business owner, an entrepreneur. I moved on from the Marine Corps to co-found and co-own a fitness competition series, a gym, and then lastly, a mental, physical, and emotional wellness program in education, serving teachers, faculty, staff, as well as students. And since exiting those programs and those businesses, I moved on to serve as a program director in the wilderness therapy space. And then most recently, working as a business coach as well as director of sales back in the health and fitness space, but serving other entrepreneurs to help them create the biggest impact they possibly can for their business, for themselves, and for their members. But most importantly, I'm also a dad. I'm the proud dad of an 11-year-old stepson, as well as a beautiful, almost 18-month-old daughter. And that is really the onus of this new journey from being an entrepreneur, from being a veteran into a certification through the University of Georgia and Sherpa executive coaching to be an executive coach. My passion has been service and coaching and impacting others through health and fitness, through leadership, through service. And when I found executive coaching and I found the Sherpa program through the University of Georgia, it just works. It just fit who I am and the impact I want to create. And more importantly, the impact I want to create by serving, coaching, and connecting with other dads who are A players in their career and also want to be A players and impactful at home. So that's a little about me. Let's get into the format. So, to make this podcast impactful, to make it quick and efficient while getting beautiful insights from others, but also not letting it drag on and making it really easy and impactful, we're going to do three principles of leadership on every show. So the other people who join the show are going to share their three principles. We'll dive into what they are, where they came from, and how they've impacted their careers, their work life, as well as their family. So today on the show, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share my three principles on leadership that I think have impacted me and those around me the most. And hopefully you get something out of it. So let's dive in to principle number one, leadership by example. I remember when I went to officer candidate school in the Marine Corps in Quantico, Virginia, the summer after my freshman year in college, and above the doorway to the headquarters building was Ductus Exemplo, leadership by example. And ever since that day, that has truly stayed with me. How you conduct yourself, how you handle situations, how you listen, how you communicate, all of these great aspects of leadership really only matter if you're doing them to yourself. You're setting that example for others to follow. I think we've all heard the idea that your kids will act the way that you do, not the way that you say they should act, right? A beautiful example is, my partner and I, Lauren, we work out pretty consistently, and I stopped going to a gym when we moved into our new place, and I invested in multiple aspects to put into our garage. So we could be home, it could be more efficient, and our daughter could be there to watch it. She's got her little baby jail, as I call it, her cage that she stays safe in, but she sits there, she eats snacks, she plays with toys, but she does it while most of the time Lauren is working out, but also when we work out together on weekends or in the evening. And now she does squats. She can't use words, she can't speak, but she does squats and lunges and push-ups. And she knows what those things are. And I think that as a dad is so impactful to see that they're always watching. And I know you see that as a dad or whoever's listening to this, that leadership by example makes such a big impact. It was impactful when I was a leader of Marines and so fortunate to be one. It's impactful as I lead in my current role or I served as a program director in a previous role, how you conduct yourself, how you show up every day, your executive presence, it matters and it levels everyone up around you. Principle number two, top down planning, bottom up refinement. Now, what does that mean, Nick? So, top down planning, bottom up refinement means to me that you're engaging the people that you have the opportunity to serve. You're engaging your family and your children in decisions that you make. So, an example of this in my career would be as a program director in wilderness therapy, when I had the opportunity to create new initiatives or build in some new aspect of the plan, I would get the general framework of the plan, but then I would push it down to my field director and our field guides and say, hey, what do we think about this? Do we think this would work? Just like in the Marine Corps, when we plan a mission, I would turn to my amazing staff NCOs, my NCOs, those small unit leaders of Marines who have more experience, more knowledge than I could have ever possibly had, and say, hey, what do you guys think? Is this a good idea? And in the Marine Corps, very often, and some of you that may listen to this, Sergeant Woods, Corporal Vaughn, all those people who mentored me along the way would say, sir, this is dumb. We shouldn't do that. So that is that bottom up refinement. Okay, tell me what should we do? What should this look like? And then with my family, how we use this. If we're going on a trip, we're going to dinner. Hey, this is what we're thinking. We're going for a hike. What do you guys think? Where do you want to go? What do you want to see? Do they always get their way? Absolutely not. But it's slowing down. It's engaging them in the process so they have buy-in, they have excitement, and they feel like they're part of the core unit. Just like in work, you want to involve the team. We're all on this mission together. Same thing applies at home. We slow down, we involve everyone. So there's buy-in, there's excitement, and we're all playing a role for the greater good. And number three, the art of the pause. I just wrote a post on this on LinkedIn a few days ago, but this is such an impactful leadership principle that we all have struggled with in the past. And it's something we have to continue to work on, the art of the pause. In any situation in your career, I challenge you to take that pause when someone's maybe raising their tone or talking at you a little bit or just being frustrated or you're getting frustrated. Take that pause, step back, allow yourself the freedom to think before you react. And I know you can all think if you have children, specifically small children or maybe teenagers that I have not experienced yet, you could think of a situation where you just reacted instead of having that strong practice of pausing before you react. And a tool that we teach in Sherpa as part of our communication framework is to listen, pause, think, pause, and then communicate. And the way I like to think about it and the way I teach it are there are dashes in between the listen, think, and communicate. And that pause is really what you should embrace. How am I able to take that breath? Understand the big picture. What is actually happening here? What does the person on the other side of this conversation really need out of me? Do they need me just to listen? Are they looking for help? And what should my reaction? How should I communicate in this situation to get the best possible outcome to create a positive impact on business or a positive impact on our family when at home? So those are my three principles: leadership by example, top-down planning, bottom-up refinement, and the art of the pause. I hope you guys took something from that. I would love to hear what you think about each of those. And I look forward to sharing this journey of the podcast with you as we move forward. All I ask is that you like, subscribe wherever you listen or watch this. If you have someone, an impactful dad that you think would be a great fit for the show, or you yourself want to come on the show and share your 3 leadership principles for work, for your career, and at home, I would love to hear from you. So that's episode 1. I'll see you next time.